What's up everybody? It's Mimicker here, and today in our safe space we are going to be celebrating March 31st. Do you know what today is? Raise your hands if you know what today is. Couple of you? Couple of you. Okay, alright, I'll take it. For those of you who do not know what today is, this is a very important day, especially for me. Today is Transgender Awareness Day. Yeah, that's right. But some of you didn't know that existed. It does, and it's cool. So right now, we're going to get edumacated. We're gonna learn about where the hell did this holiday come from? It's not very old. It's pretty young. It started, I forgot her name. Great use for those of you who can't remember. Crap! I could rehearse this a million times. Actually, that's a lie. If I rehearsed it a million times, I'd remember. But I don't have time to do that. Because I'm trying to get it posted today. So, International Transgender Day of Visibility. Is that what it's called? Oh, I thought it was Transgender Awareness Day. Same thing. Anyways, Transgender Day of Visibility is an annual holiday occurring on March 31st dedicated to celebrating trans people and raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people worldwide. This is from Wikipedia, by the way. It was founded by US-based transgender activist Rachel Crandall of Michigan in 2009. The reason she started it was because she was pissed that there wasn't a lot of LGBT holidays. There was one that was Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is still important, and it's basically a day mourning the deaths and murders of transgender people, which I'm sad that we have it, but I'm glad that we have it because it's still a day to be like, hey, look, we're dying, people. Like, this is a huge deal. Not just from suicide, which is still awful, but murdered. Murdered by other people. That's the big deal. But she realized that there wasn't a day to celebrate the living people, the people that were still alive and experiencing life and the daily struggles of being transgender. So she was like, you know what? March 31st. Let's frickin' do it. And she made it. She did it. Thank you, Rachel Crandall. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. For making this day. Because it is a day to acknowledge, respect, and accept transgender people. I mean, that should be every day, don't get me wrong. But today is kind of like a bigger day to be like, hey, people, we exist. We're real. We're not bad. Here we are. And if you are someone that is transgender, but is not out, hasn't told anybody, you are still just as valid as anybody else who has been out for months, years, is transitioning, is fully transitioned, and is where they want to be. From anybody that's pre-transitioned and not even out to fully transitioned and content, everyone in that kind of spectrum is just as valid, important, all of it. All of you guys matter, no matter what. Now, moving on, this video is going to be about not only, talking about the holiday, but it's going to be basically my story of me being transgender and how I got from little baby me to this gay trans boy right here. So, let's start from the very beginning, rewinding back into time, into like, I got dizzy. God, how old was I? I don't remember how old I was, but I was in 8th grade. Right? Yeah. No. Yes, 8th grade. It was my last year of junior high. I remember this very vividly. I was in my language arts class. We always had to write something in our journal every single morning, whatever. And I was just sitting there, just like, not even on planet Earth. I was just so lost in thought. I was like, okay, everyone's calling me a boy. Like, everyone always was like, Logan's a boy, or like they would see me, they'd be like, sir, which is ironic because I get called ma'am all the time now. Anyways, and I was like, maybe I am a boy. I don't know. Like, I never got really mad when people called me a boy. I'd just be like, whatever. Like, it didn't really affect me that much. And I just started thinking more into it, and I was like, am I a boy? Am I a girl? What am I? What's going on? What is happening to me? And we're writing it down in like a journal, and it was kind of depressing, and my language art teacher read it, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. So anyways, I remember writing it down and being like, I need to research this. What is going on in my head right now? I'm so confused. And so I googled some like basically what I was feeling, just like, am I a boy or am I a girl? And like a bunch of like, you know, different identities were popping up. I was starting to learn a little bit. I still didn't know a lot. And so I started reading something that was like bigender or genderqueer. And I was like, is this me? Like I kind of feel like a girl, but I kind of feel like a boy. I'm not really sure what's going on. And I was like, maybe I'm bigender. Maybe I'm both. And so I kind of went with that for a little while, and I was like, yeah, sure. And actually, I'm not, the real, like, what actually was going on is I was kind of freaking out. Like, I was making a huge deal out of this, where I look back at myself now and I'm like, shh, baby me, it's okay, it's not, it's okay. Like, it seems scary, but it's not. I was like, reality, real. I was like, what am I? What's going on? I don't know what's happening. Ah. And then me now, I'm just like, I'm a dude. It's not that big of a deal. But anyways, so I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on in my head. I was like, what's happening? What am I doing? So I identified as bigender and then like genderqueer for a little while, and I was like, this is weird. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't settle with me. And then everyone just kept assuming that I was lesbian. Everyone thought I was a lesbian. I always had the short hair. I dressed, you know, in baggy t-shirts and shorts. Everyone was like, Logan's a lesbian, until I got a boyfriend at one time and they were like, oh, never mind. And then I didn't date him anymore and they were like, oh, Logan's a lesbian. And I was like, no. So finally I was like, screw it. I'm not this bigender thing, whatever it is. I'm just a gay girl. That's it. I'm a lesbian, because everyone else seems to think I'm a lesbian. Nope. So I identified as just like a cisgendered girl, even though at the time I had no idea what cisgender was. I identified as a cisgender girl that was lesbian for like a couple months. And it felt so wrong. I like forced myself to be like, yeah, that girl's hot. She's hot. I'd do stuff with her. Yeah. But no! No! Wrong! Anyways, continuing. So yeah, I was like, I'm this butch lesbian, blah, blah, blah. And I felt so wrong. I was like, this isn't it. Like, this is not me. And so, for a little while, I was just like, I don't know what I am. I don't know what's going on. And then, I want to say, ending of 9th grade, I remember how I found it. I just happened to stumble upon these transitioning videos for transgender men and women, and I was like, what is this? Like, apparently I did not do good enough research, because I still was like, what is transgender? Like, what is this? What is this? What's a trans boy? What's a trans girl? And I started watching these videos and like seeing them like transition, and I was like, and then they were talking about like how they felt in the videos, and like all of a sudden it's like this brick wall just like slammed into my face, and I was like, holy crap, this is what I'm feeling. I finally get it. Like, this is what I need. I was like, I'm like, at the time, kind of cliche, I was like, I'm just this girl, not girl. I'm a boy stuck in a girl's body. And later on, you know, I realized, I'm like, even though this body is biologically female, this body is a boy body. Whether it doesn't feel like it's a boy body, it's my boy body. Moving on, it just hit me, like, I was crying, my parents were gone, like, for a couple hours, and I was just sitting on my living room floor, and I think actually they were only gone for like an hour. I think I was only watching these videos for an hour, but it felt like an eternity. I was like, this is it, this is what I've been searching for like the past year and a half, this is how I feel, and it makes sense now, it's all coming together. And from there on forth, I was like, I'm a dude, I'm a trans boy, I want to transition. I didn't come out to my parents for quite a while. I came out to my friends immediately, and they were all super chill with it, and it was really nice to have that support, but it was, whew. It took me months to come out to my parents, and I remember we were sitting watching a TV, watching a television show, and my friend Cass, which, bless Cass, she made a post on Tumblr that was like, my friend is coming out, go give him support, and I got a crap ton of messages being like, you can do it, I believe in you, and I'm kind of crying thinking about it right now. Whew. Because it was such a nice moment, and it gave me the courage to come out, which, even though the first 2 years of being out to my parents was really hard, it was worth it. Whew, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. Anyways, so I'm getting all these messages, and finally I was like, okay, this is it. I need to do it. My phone went off. Where is it? Screw you, phone. Don't talk to me right now. So we're sitting there watching some show, and all of a sudden, the commercial comes on, and I'm like, okay, can you guys pause the show? And they were like, yeah, okay. I'm like, I have something to tell you. And my mom, I love my mom. She is super supportive, but she has a tendency to word vomit things, just like without thinking. So she was like, oh God, what now? And I was like, whew, that doesn't help. And I just like I hadn't even said anything yet. My nose itches. And I just started crying. I just started bawling. And I was like, trying to get my words out of this just like nasty mess in my face, snot running down from my nose, tears coming out of my eyes. And I was like, God, so I just like kind of tried to calm myself down. And I was like, I'm transgender. And then everyone kind of went quiet. I'm not going to talk about how my stepdad reacted. My mom was just like, oh. And I can't really remember exactly what happened after that. It's kind of a blur. I was just crying. And then I remember standing in the kitchen with my mom, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And she was like, you don't need to apologize for this. Like, this is who you are. And Mom, if you're watching this isn't a bash on you at all. I'm gonna show your improvement, so I'm not being like, my mom's a bad person. I'm just saying it's hard for parents sometimes. Like, there are parents out there that will never accept it and just aren't good people. But there are some good parents out there that they have a hard time in the beginning because they've known you for so long as this one thing. And then when you come up to them with this thing, this new idea that you've been like thinking about for a while, and all of a sudden you're like, this is what I am, and they're like, whoa, what do I do with this? Sometimes it takes a while for parents to be okay with that. So she tells me this, and then the first 2 years of me being out to her, it was a little rocky. My mom definitely had a hard time processing it, and it was definitely rough on her as it was rough on me. So those 2 years, our relationship wasn't exactly easy, which was hard for both of us because my mom is my best friend in the entire world. My mom and I have a great relationship, so these 2 years were really rough for us, and I felt a little apart from my mom, and I'm sure she also felt that she was a little apart from me. And then as time went on, she kind of started to realize, okay, like, this isn't a phase, this is something that is very serious to my child. And as time went on, she started, being like, okay, I can get with this. I can do this. All right. I'm feeling it. She started like kind of introducing me to like some people as her son. She'd go back and forth, and she still does, but she's so much better. She works really hard on trying not to use like female kind of nicknamey things for me, and she'll refer to me as her son like a good 90% of the time. And it's so funny because she'll be like, my son, and then she'll just use female pronouns on accident, and the people will be like, come again? And she's like, oh, let me tell you. And it's really funny, actually. But she's improved leaps and bounds, and I hope no one's taking this as me as like rubbing this into someone's face that doesn't have it that easy with parents. I'm just telling my story. If you are someone that doesn't get the support that I do or some other people do, I am so sorry. That is, I can't even imagine how rough that could be. Well, I mean, I can't imagine, but like having zero support no matter how long you've been out, like, that's not good. But that's why this safe space is for you to come to have that support that you need. I understand, you want your support from your parents. I get that, and it won't be the same, but this is a safe place for everybody. I want everybody to come into this and feel okay, and I'm crying again. I want everyone to come here And I'm gonna say it a million times because I want it to be obvious. If you're someone that doesn't get the support in your household, I want you to be able to hop onto your computer and get that support in your household. From us, from me, from other people in the comments, from everyone in this community. I want everyone to feel safe and okay and loved. And I'm crying. That's why this day is important. I'm such a baby. But that's why this day is important. Because everyone needs that awareness and that support. And I'm trying to organize my thoughts and I'm really sorry because I'm crying. Thank God I'm not wearing mascara today. Whew. I'm really sorry I lost my train of thought. I hope I said everything that I needed to say. You're safe here, no matter what. Everyone is safe here. I'm a mess! I hope everyone has a great Transgender Day of Visibility. I hope you got to celebrate it at least a little bit, or someone came up to you and said that they support you no matter what. And if you haven't, this is me telling you that I support you with everything that you do. You are important to me and everyone else in this community. I can't talk anymore because I'm a crying mess. I hope your day was great. No matter what time of day it is, morning, night, evening, I hope it's great. And I will see you guys hopefully in the next video. I can't even think about what I'm gonna do next. I hope I get this done before the day is over. Whew. I'll see you guys later. Bye.